The following show is part two of a two-part series. If you're listening to this and you have not listened to part one, we recommend that you go back and listen to part one. There'll be a link below. Please enjoy the continuation of the Big Brag 2024 wrap-up show. Thank you and have a great day. So, anyways, as far as the Armando thing going, he's home, he's resting. We wish him nothing but the best.
Absolutely.
So, and then we did finish our century, and we finished it just in time because the floodgates opened up and it started raining the minute you and I were done. So we got our coveted bandana. For those who've never done brag, once you do the century, you do get the bandana. So, anything else from that day besides, of course, our friend and everything? Oh yeah, we did have dinner with him later on. He did not spend the night in the hospital. We all ended up at a Mexican restaurant. Surprise, surprise. So,
no, I think you covered everything.
Besides that, we got back and slept in the gym again, and then guess we just rode the last couple days. Saw tons of our friends, but the one thing I'm curious about is you had two products that you were testing and trying out in the middle of Georgia. Are you willing to speak on those?
I am. As part of what I've deemed as our success, here we go. Yeah, I did have two products that I tried out. And the first one was the old finned helmet here, right here.
Okay.
We had actually highlighted. What's that?
Why is it back in the box?
It's not in the box.
Oh, okay.
See what I got to work with here, folks. Finned, we actually talked about this product last November about one of the products to buy a cyclist. It's a collapsible helmet. Didn't know how it was going to work. Took a big chance because I decided to only take one helmet. And so this is a little bit, it folds up, looks like a nice rectangle here. And then when you are ready, it pops out, pops open, that type of thing. Fits in my bag way better. Wore it for the entire week. I would say it's a success. I had really no problems with it. Had a lot of people asking me, it's not one of those collapsible helmets and things. And I actually took it off and showed a number of people, how it works. It's just got a couple of little tabs on the side here that you just click and it just folds in on itself. So,
but did
voila.
you use
What's that?
Did you use the real estate on the back for a Cycling Men of Leisure sticker yet?
I did not. I wanted to make sure that I was 100% satisfied with this product before I started branding it with our stuff. So
I think it's time to brand it. I think
it is time. I'm going to brand it, but great helmet. Normally I'm carrying, I think we mentioned it before, I'm carrying it on the outside of my backpack in the airport. I was able to get this in there. No problems whatsoever.
I just want to say it would be a lot funnier if you put it on your head inside the airplane.
Not gonna do it.
Come on.
So definitely success. I would say this is a product that everyone would be good buying. So
another product that I'm not sponsored by, but I'm going to tell you it's about $100 on Amazon. But
okay,
FEND. If you're looking for a folding helmet, I have to say, when you first mentioned it on the Christmas show, and then you told me that your wife had blessed you with it for Christmas,
you were concerned.
I was a little concerned because of impact and crash and safety and testing, but look at you today. You're just fine. So
I'm right here.
But actually seeing it, touching it, feeling it, giving it the once over, and watching you wear it for 6 days of riding at 407 miles, It seemed aerodynamic. It seemed strong. It seemed like if you did need the helmet for an actual helmet crash, that it would have actually been just as easily on par with what I had on my head as well, except for didn't have a brim, but that's okay. What was the other product? I know what it was, but how would you talk about this?
The old A2 tire inflator by Cycle Plus. Now, this one was a long shot. We always have that problem because you can't fly with those canisters. Now, when we just, drive someplace, we just have the canisters, the air canisters with us and just pump it up. Not doing that, we have to find a place to buy it or buy it ahead of time, have it shipped so that we have those. So I decided to go do some research, and I did do a lot of research, and I found this particular brand. And I think you were a little wary when I said I was going to be doing this, taking this with me.
Absolutely admit that. 100%.
We still took canisters, but it was actually a really interesting tool. I didn't know if it was going to work. Once we got the bike set up in the hotel room, and it had everything going, we blew up 4 tires, not a problem. So it's a great little thing. It's even got a flashlight on it, that type of thing. But it worked beautifully. We pumped up 4, 5, 6 tires at a time. It's got a little display here. You can program it to, I think up to 120 psi.
It was higher.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to correct you, but we did. I mean, in full transparency, we kind of a learning curve a little bit, a couple of times. How to get it to what, because Michael rides at about 10 psi lower than I like. And so I was like, well, how do I get it where I want it? Or how do we get it where you want it? So we spent a couple times just kind of playing with it. You set the psi that you want, and then you just turn it on, and then it slowly brings your tire to the psi of your wishes.
Mm-hmm. And it'll show it right on the little screen here.
Yep.
And all the tires that we blew up, it never went below 3 bars.
No.
And one day I even used the back to charge up my phone, because for some reason my phone must have been doing a lot of, trying to find networks and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually just plugged it in here with USB and charged up my phone off of it too. And it kept the power. It pumped up the tires. You can do Pesta. You can do Shredder. You can even do your, soccer balls and basketball balls off of it if you really wanted to. You can actually put it into your car tire and inflate it. So great. I would say this is awesome. It also comes with a kind of like cage. So I took off one of my water bottle cages because I had 3. I took one off, replaced it with this holder, and it just straps right on there. And I had it the whole time. So it even went through a rainstorm and didn't affect it. So definitely something to do, especially if you're one of those people doing the manual thing. Forget that. The great thing about this is you get rid of those cartridges. You're not wasting all those cartridges every time. You just simply put it in. You pull out the little air pump here and screw that in, and just go to town. So
I was really impressed. I really
2
was.
products I was very, very happy with.
I was impressed. I mean, as you mentioned, we usually ship CO2s in. So the hotel we stayed in, I had drop shipped 12 CO2s. We gave those away on our last day because we couldn't fly home with them. Although you and I have both gotten through airports with them before, but the minute you put them in your bag, then they're there. TSA is going to give you a love letter. So anyways, we donated those. Cost of doing business. So the one thing I glossed over the last 2 days of brag was the last night, and I think we need to talk about our speakeasy.
Yes. we had an opportunity to have a speakeasy, and that's kind of our get together. I brought along several bottles of J. Rieger's whiskey, which is a local regional distillery here in Kansas City, a very old one. And we had Cycling Men of Leisure Brag 2024 labels made that they Jay Rieger's happily made for us. Put on those bottles. Found a hillside above where the music was, and we brought out some glasses, some ice, and a couple of bottles of that. And we had our speakeasy. Basically, that just means we're setting up there. We're inviting anybody who wants to come around, drink whatever they brought, drink some of what we brought. Don't have to drink, alcohol at all. Listen to music and just have some fun. And we wound up chatting with a lot of people. Armando was feeling up to it, so he was able to come out. So it was just really a good time.
The only thing that I personally felt bad is the way the band was set up. There was like an amphitheater, semicircle amphitheater. So half of our group was up top, and half, because of Armando, obviously could not use the crutches to get up the hill. That was the only part I felt bad about. But you and I did a nice job. We split our time in between. So
there's no way around it. So we spent a little time at the top of the hill, go down to the bottom of the hill. It was good.
We made a joke before leaving about gnats and everything, but they weren't that bad this year. Just a couple here and there.
Not as bad as they had been in the past.
Right. What also was funny that night? Not funny. I'm sorry, not funny. But what was fun is we went to Nona Pica.
The pizza place, yeah.
The pizza place. Oh, here it is. Nona Pica, wood-fired pizza. I had to look at my notes. Sorry. That was really fun because it was Mike and Vick and Walter and everybody, Virginia and
people that we've known for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And that we've shared meals with before and ridden with before and that type of stuff. And, it was a really good time. And we've got a couple of, that was an evening we were able to get a couple of interviews from people. So that was also cool.
Let me play one of those right now. So one of the people at dinner with us was John, who is EMS John. His name is John Athens. I'm going to let him tell you his about him. I don't need to tell you. Let's listen to this real quick.
Okay.
Hi, my name's John. I am a paramedic that has been volunteering with this organization for 14 years now.
Cool.
I am a retired firefighter. Spent 22 and a half years in the fire service. Have been a paramedic now for 46 years. Wow. And now I am fortunate enough to be able to teach EMS at a technical college in the metro Atlanta area.
That's cool. So awesome. We met you 3 years ago when we did, but by saying that we met you is you rode by us many times on your motorcycle, and at first we thought, who is this guy? What's going on?
Music blaring.
And Michael carries a little tie beanie baby because it's his daughter's, and he takes it everywhere. And we said, we should get a picture. So next to somewhere in our archives, we do have a picture of his.
Yes, I remember putting it on the back.
Yes.
It was at one of the ends, I believe.
Yep.
We did that.
You got it. And so, but then now, of course, we saw you at Spring Tune-Up, and now this is our third brag with you. And so far, you probably put about 1,000 miles on your motorcycle?
I am sitting at just over 900 today.
Okay, so by the time we end, it'll be over 1,000?
It'll be over 1,000. Wow. By the time I get home, it'll be over 1,200.
Now, so right now, just to give perspective, we are sitting at Friday. Yeah. So we still have one more day of riding.
One more day of riding.
You'll have over 1,000 then.
Yeah, it'll be over 1,000 for this ride.
Cool.
And on your motorcycle jacket, you do have a patch that says Boo Boo Master.
Yes.
And so you, does it take a long time to get training in that? Or?
Well, the Boo Boo Master started out as kind of a joke.
Sure.
Me being a paramedic, I take care of boo-boos. So, and I'm also a special effects makeup artist and make boo-boos. Okay. That look real.
Cool. Yeah.
So the name kind of stuck, and it ended up becoming my road name with my Harley chapter. Okay. So the name Boo Boo Master has fit, it's stuck, and it won't go away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we actually heard about your being able to make like the makeup artist stuff from Luke.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We rode with him for a couple of days, and he was like, he knew you through paramedics or something.
Right.
He was explaining that you did this.
I do things like disaster drills. I do emergency drills for hospitals, and I actually teach with our EMS organization people across the state how to do makeup at different levels. So
that's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the other thing, when you and I were at the last break stop, you said something that really resonated with me, which was your involvement with Special Olympics.
Yes.
Would you mind to just touch on that?
Oh, it is. I retired in 2009 from Gwinnett County, to where the fire department I worked with. And in 2010, I wanted to do some kind of give back. So I have had a very blessed career. I have got a wonderful family that supports me through this. My wife and daughter are home right now waiting on me to come home, But in 2010, I joined Special Olympics of Georgia on their medical side, and also called Vicky up with Bragg and said, this is what I am, this is what I do, can I help you? She invited me into the fold. So those are my big give backs.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
My career has been blessed. It's still serving me well, so why not?
Well, that's great. And John, we've really enjoyed meeting you. You've always been so wonderful and personal to us. And I love when you pass me and you know I have the brim on, so you look in the mirror and give us a big thumbs up. So it means the world to know that if I needed help, that you would be there.
I am there.
So, John, thank you for spending a few minutes
One
with
more
us.
thing I have.
Sure.
For taking the time to spend and give us a few minutes of your time for the interview, we'd like to give you the official Cycling Men of Leisure patch.
Thank you. I will find a home for that
There you
very,
go.
very
Appreciate
quickly.
it. So,
Thank you so much.
John,
But I've
absolutely.
enjoyed this, and I've enjoyed meeting you guys, and this is a family that is a second family to me.
Oh yeah, that's incredible.
That's great. John, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, we had a lot of fun with him. I mean, he's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
personable, just a nice guy.
Just a
and-
nice guy, and just has a desire to give back to people, and you can see that just in his actions and the passion and the way that he talks about Bragg and the Special Olympics that he donates his time to. So good guy.
Very, very interesting when we all had dinner together with Mike and Vic and Stephen and Cindy and everybody. I mean, just all of our table. We just got in this conversation about why I started to lose weight and didn't realize, with him being a paramedic and his education, and we just went down this rabbit hole of like what I do for a living and everything. It was kind of like lined up, it was kind of really one of those things that just was like, I never would have thought that we would have jumped in a conversation like that, but it was really cool. So, the other interview that we did is a little known guy. Just, it's one of the small guys. I'm just kidding. We were able to, Franklin was pretty much on call. His wife was any moment ready to give birth to their third. So
Which by the way,
yes,
he managed to get through the entire race without having to race home.
he could ride without having to race home because I wasn't racing.
Well, the ride without having to race home. So he did successfully do that, and I believe he has his third child at this point. So
I believe it's close. It's either now or, if this comes out, it's either now. I talked to him last night, not to name drop, but talked to him last night. They were in the hospital, so I think it's got to be close. So, they're getting there. So, but why don't we play his interview now here? So here we are. We're with the executive director of Bragg. So far, we've had such a wonderful time. Franklin, how do you think it's going?
I think so far, so good. It's gone super smooth, meeting all the expectations. I think everybody's having a great time. I've gotten quite a few "I love you, man" so far, so that always those are new, and that makes me proud.
Well, I'm going to join that crowd. I'll say I love you, man. So
I love you too.
It's been a wonderful time. Michael and I decided to attempt and completed the century yesterday, so we got our bandana. We're bandana strong
that's
and
right.
proud.
We made it.
So what I'd like to talk about is you seem so calm and so relaxed. Is that because you've done it many times, or just because you have a phenomenal team, a little mixture of both, or?
I think it's always multivariate, right? I think it is a mixture of both. I have a baby due on the 10th, so I've intentionally staffed up a lot more this year than typical years. So in case I had to hop in the truck and head back to Atlanta to welcome our third child in the world, I knew our bases would be covered here. So with that in mind, I think it's certainly a little bit easier to have as much staff as we have to lean on. And then also, this is I think the 8th or 9th Bragg I've put together. So, with age comes wisdom, hopefully.
That's right.
Starting to get smoother. Yeah.
So, Michael, what are some of been your highlights that you can mention and what you think with Franklin here?
I think it's went really, really well. I mean, I haven't had any complaints. I've heard tons of good things out on the road about it. Overall, weather's been pretty decent. We've missed a lot of the rain. The rains came at night when we weren't on the road, so that's been very beneficial. But overall, the ride's been great. And honestly, where we're staying tonight is like a luxury hotel. I mean, the facilities here are awesome.
I mean, there was a sauna, a hot tub, a pool, wonderful showers, a big gym, air conditioned. We chose the indoor camping, so it's been a great time. So Franklin, one of the biggest questions that everyone always has is how many people are here. I get that from my family, I get that from my friends, coworkers, or like how many people are you doing this ride with? Can you talk about registration for this year?
Absolutely. So we had just over 1,000 people pre-registered sign up before the ride actually started. And then we had a number of people, haven't counted them yet because they're all in paper forms, but a number of people have registered, probably an extra 100 or so on site, whether it be for 1 day, 3 days, or the full week.
Cool.
And then with any event, you also have, we've got a large contingent, usually around 10% of people that don't show up for whatever reason, last minute changes or cancellations. So we should be rocking right over 1,000 for the week.
And that is for a full week as well as your 3 days.
It's like 85% of those people are about full week, and then the rest are, we have a number of people that do just the first 3 days or the last 3 days, and a handful of people that just do a single day.
Cool.
Now, with some of the extreme heat that we had this week, one of the things that you did was really cool is in Iowa, I've had churches and young ladies hand me freeze pops while I was going down the road. Can you talk about what you were willing to do this week?
So yeah, I wouldn't call it extreme heat. We got up to like 91, which is very hot on the blacktop especially. But it was an 80-mile day, a little bit hilly in the beginning of the day, a lot of it hilly in the beginning of the day, and then it flattened out. So I knew a lot of people were going to be struggling. So we went and bought 1,000 freezy pops, had the manager at Walmart put them in their freezer overnight, went and picked them up in the morning. I loaded them up in the back of my truck and then handed them out along the route. And funny enough, I did it 2 days in a row. And the first day I probably said freezy pops a million times at cyclists going down the road. And then the next day I did it. I didn't have to advertise at all. Everybody pulled in and took the freezy pops off my hand.
Yeah, that's definitely, you gave us one, so we were really appreciative. So
we got the record. We had people kept trying to beat the record. So some guy took down 3.
Okay.
Some guy wanted to up that, took down 5. And then there's a young lady, she's probably 13, 14 years old, took down 7 icy pops in one sitting.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah, told her diabetes is a real thing.
It's like I was telling Michael about the Choco Taco. He had never heard of that. I said, look it up. That's diabetes in a package right there. So, well, Franklin, we know that you're a busy man. You got a band that's about to play here. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate you sitting down with us.
No, absolutely. Appreciate you guys coming. Appreciate the support.
Thank you. This show could go on and on. There's a couple things I'm going to mention, and then I'm gonna let it go. But I want to mention the Team Paparazzi honorable photo. I mean, I was really...
Oh, that was nice.
I mean, so throughout the years, we didn't know our first time about the team atmosphere that had, it made sense, and we saw it at Rag Brag, but I didn't realize that Bragg had it as well. And Team Paparazzi has just always been people that have just opened their arms. I mean, from Savannah, helping us find a spot when we came in last, or almost last, at the one town last year. Just always cordial, kind, polite, and Jason has said some wonderful things, how we bring positivity to the cycling community, and so they've always been nice. And so Mandy wrote me and said we'd really like to offer you guys to have a photo with us at 6:45, and you didn't need an alarm. People started getting up at 4:30 in the morning, so you didn't have to worry about getting up. So you alluded to sleeping in gyms. What you forgot to mention is the guy who wears flip flops at 1 in the morning, click, 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 or the door that needed WD-40. So I'm carrying WD-40 and a wrench, and I'm just kidding. But
I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, must be nice.
It was.
So I just really want to say thank you to Team Paparazzi for asking us to get in the photo, and which was awesome because Franklin jumped in the photo as well, and so that's one of those.
That was
ones
awesome.
that I've
was really
looked at
cool.
a few times since I've been home. I want to make sure we mention Donna Freeman.
Oh,
Donna was
yes.
Donna was on
Awesome
our
job.
team. Oh, kudos to her. She was on our team, and it reminded me of 2016 when you were supportive of me, sir. And Donna said to us at the last break that how much longer do we have? This is my first century. And not only did she complete it, but she came in and she thought that she had erased it on her computer. And I thought, oh man, I'm so sorry. But it turns out that not only had she not that she didn't lose it, the way that she got on the shuttle to go to town, the computer was still on, so it shows her last ride like at 50 miles an hour. But she was able to stop it, and kudos to her.
She was a fellow team member,
Fellow
Cycling
team
Women of
member.
Leisure.
Yes.
While we're doing shout outs, I have a couple too. So
Please.
happy to see Bill. Great
Yeah.
job, Bill. I'm really happy that we've cycled with him before. We were cycling with him in Kentucky. I'm really happy that the pizza I brought to you in Kentucky, ever so slowly, didn't in fact kill you. So,
Well, what killed them is that we all waited in Kentucky for 2.5 hours for you to. I don't know what you were doing. Were you making the yeast? I mean, let it. I mean,
they made it seem like, yeah, it was just up around the corner. It was not. It was all the way in town, and they
mhm.
messed up our order, so I had to wait. So, Andrea and Natalie,
Audra and Natalie. Yeah.
Audra, excuse me,
Yeah.
can't read my own writing. Uh, Happy to be riding with them again. We've ridden with them several times.
Let me go
And
back. Let's go back and forth. What
go
about
ahead.
tracking Tom 2024? We slept next to Tom a couple nights. We got to see him. Hashtag tracking Tom 2024. Um, his granddaughter a couple of years ago had said, "Hey, if you see my grandpa out there, make sure you take some pictures and show us." And people just ate it up, and there are hundreds of pictures with Tom. So good to see him. I'm going to go a couple here and give it back
Yep.
to you. I'm going to start with our team. International, Italo, very big fan. Neil, David Chase, you mentioned Audra, Stephen, uh, Don, Bill, Keith, and Melanie. Keith and Melanie,
Oh no.
oh, don't be, these are the Brim fans too, buddy. Uh, uh, we met them on the bus on the way to Ragbri,
Ragbri.
and they are tandem riders, um, and they had this really cool bike that comes apart in cases, and told us all about. That time they had some travel snafus where some of the stuff didn't come in, but anyways, they all made it, and we all made it across Iowa and Georgia now. But and so they flew in, and great to see them. I'm going to pause there and let you go.
Uh, Big shout out to Justin, and congratulations on his wedding. He finished the ride, and the next day he was going to Savannah to get married, and we
Yeah,
got to meet his bride, and that was really cool. So hope everything worked out there for you.
it did.
Congratulations, you too.
It did. Yeah, there's some photos and nice photos. He was all here. We saw him in cycling outfits for 6 7 days, and he looked all dapper Dan. So
Well, good. And big shout out to Scott and Cricket,
absolutely.
kind of our adopted Georgia family. Those two are incredible. Ridden with them before. They are just so willing to. They're just giving people. They're willing to go out of their way to help people out, and they've certainly helped us out and was willing to help us out again if we needed it. So definitely want to say thank you and a big shout out to them.
Not to be confused with the first official family of cycling
Oh
men of
yes,
leisure, Jeffrey Woods and his beautiful bride, and five, mark them, 1 2 3 4 5 children at Bragg, and I believe I'm gonna say 4 to 5 weeks had just given birth to number five and rode her bike many a mile. So kudos.
yeah. We've officially dubbed them the first family of cycling of leisure. So
I'm going to go a little bit here. We had Rich and John, Sandy and Steven, Mandy and Warren, or excuse me, Kimball. And so Mandy and Warren, we've seen a couple of years now, and we actually did something for her daughter, and so that was
Hmm.
cool. And so good to see those guys again. I'm going to put a little hashtag here. So your turn.
Annette, happy to see her again. And on the team, she is one of the original Cycling Women of Leisure.
With Mandy, yep.
And Virginia, happy to
Virginia.
see her out. She started the same year we did riding Bragg, and we just always see her, and she's always fun to hang out with and cycle with. So
You mentioned Scott, Kara.
we have a big one we haven't mentioned yet.
I know.
Okay, don't want to forget that one.
No. I'm going to let you do that. Michael, Alvin, Larry, Armando, Zach, some guy named Michael Sharp,
Total clown.
David and William, father and son. Very, very great to meet them. Gary Vaughn, who we mentioned in our
Oh, yeah.
first mailbag, we got to spend a lot of time with him. And then Jeffrey Williamson, I only mentioned by name because he's been very supportive of us on Facebook and everything else. So that was our team, and I'm going to let you go with the big one.
Okay. Last year, during Bragg, we kept running into these two on a tandem bike, and we found out that there was an aunt and her nephew, and they were riding on a tandem bike on this. And we met them last year. I believe the aunt's name was Carrie. The young man's name was Phoenix, and they completed the ride last year. They were back this year, and they were on individual bicycles, and it was so much fun to see those two every day. And wanted to give a big shout out to Phoenix. We loved the dad jokes. He always had funny dad jokes for us every day. Now, unfortunately, there was a little bit of a mishap and he wasn't able to finish the ride, but we wanted to make sure that we gave a big shout out to him, said let him know we really missed his presence in the ride those last few days. And we hope that he's bouncing back, and we'd really love to see him and ride with him next year.
He was so fun to be around. Such positive energy. Every break stop, just smiling, having a wonderful time. And one day he had like a button-up shirt. He says, "What do you think of my jersey?" And it was just great. I mean, I just loved it. And he would say, "Well, what about this?" And I would be like, "Oh, I know it's a dad joke, but I can't figure out the punchline fast enough." And then, so it was definitely fun. And I felt bad because then he actually came back to hang out with his aunt, and unfortunately he asked about us, and we were, I don't know what we were doing, having dinner or something, probably somewhere. So, but Phoenix, just want to tell you, awesome to see you again. Recover, get better. We'd love to see you next year. And by the way, I would love to extend an olive branch to have you our youngest member of Cycling Men of Leisure. So if
Absolutely,
you want to drop the jersey and get a Cycling Men of Leisure jersey, so
we can hook you up.
We can hook you up. So, I mean, honestly, I guess for me, as far as Bragg goes, I could go on and on. I just thought it was a huge success. Armando might not think this, but I think he still had a good time, and we got to meet his wife.
Yep.
Wish it would have been under better circumstances. We had to pick her up, but I know we're leaving somebody out. We love you all, and I vow to be back next year. And I know that you and I have already talked about that. So, so Bragg 2025. I'm going to start campaigning right now. If you want to be part of the biggest team,
That's right.
Give us a call. So, anything else that you want to say about Bragg before we?
Great time as always. Always happy to see the people. The thing that my biggest takeaway from the whole ride was, Georgia's a beautiful state.
Right.
You've got mountains, you've got rivers, you've got lakes. A lot of times when you're going through the farmlands, there was times when there was peanuts on one side of the road and pecan trees on the other. Just a fantastic state. And the people that we meet who aren't on the rides, work in the restaurants, work in convenience stores, that kind of stuff, are some of the friendliest people. I mean, they are just super friendly, and they're always so genuinely interested in what we're doing and that type of thing. And so it's just a really nice environment there. So, you know, really enjoy riding it every year. And I think the big thing for me is all of the support we have for this show. I mean, you know, you and me, two clowns, decided we wanted to start this thing. And we had so many people coming up to us that were just very positive, that were like, hey, keep doing what you're doing. We listen to your show, we watch your show, that type of thing. It really meant a lot. And it really makes us feel like, we're not just two clowns up here, goofing off, and that there's actually people listening and actually enjoy what we're doing. So
well said. There's nothing else I can add to that. Well said. I'll just say thank you. So, felt like a mini celebrity, came home, and I'm schlup of the barrel. So, so thank you. That's all I'll add to that. What's up next for us?
believe we're headed to Michigan.
We are heading
your neck of the woods, but we're going up north.
We're going up north. We are doing a ride called Shoreline, rideshoreline.org. There's still a discount code, CML24. Enter that discount code to save you $100. We would love anyone to join.
Come ride with us.
If you're thinking, hey, those two clowns were actually okay to be around, come join us. You'll get the same thing up there. I'll be known to have a bourbon and a cigar in the evening and ride like the wind bullseye during the day. So
we've actually got a couple people that's already coming up to join us. So I mean, we can always use a few more. So
we could. I did get a quick update from the events director. He said that all sites are confirmed, working on final details. Registration closes on July 3rd at 11:59 p.m., meaning on July 4th. If you are watching fireworks feeling proud about this country and you're thinking, I want to join that ride, it's too late.
God bless America, but you're too late.
Too late. July 3rd, CML24 code, save you $100.
Come and join us. It's all along the northern shoreline, and the ride provides you breakfast and dinner. A Jersey, a lot of beautiful scenery up there. So definitely look into it. Come and ride it with us.
You can check out previous shows if you want to know more about that. So otherwise, send me a message. I'll be glad to tell you about it. I think we need to. This has been a long show, long stories, but it was worth it. I mean, if you like us and you were down there, I think you'll love this part. But why don't we finish with one of the things that you and I really like to do, which is a listener spotlight. So,
all righty,
lay your clues on me.
Here we go. This episode's listener spotlight has the following clues.
Okay.
This town, city, burg, was formally founded in the very late 1700s.
Okay.
Early growth of this area of the city revolved around the commerce that was created from the district court, which was located there.
Okay. Commerce from the district court. Okay.
Mm-hmm. During the Civil War, this town was set afire and burned, except for 4 buildings. Okay. So basically, for the remainder of the war, it was basically uninhabitable. Here's one you'll appreciate. Next two you'll appreciate. Mickey Mouse and Company had a vested interest in this town.
I'm listening.
I figured you would be. Keep listening, because this is a good one too. It has over 38 golf courses within 20 miles of it.
Okay, let me pack my bags.
So there we go.
Okay, so not St. Louis. And,
it is not St. Louis.
That's all the guesses I'm gonna make. We've we've drugged this stick long enough. So appreciate the clues. Appreciate all of the listener spotlight responses. I am so thankful for everybody we met along the way in Georgia. Join us next year. We are already looking for our team. Again, if you have 10 or more, we get a jersey. Let's rock it out of the park. And appreciate everybody that joined us. If we did not mention you, we still love you. We just can't mention everybody along the way because everybody is just awesome. It was just such a great time. So inspiring, and had just a wonderful time in Georgia. I appreciate our next thing coming up in Shoreline. Thank you for the listener spotlight clues. Now I'm curious. I'm intrigued with Mickey Mouse and golf courses, so I am listening. So um, it was 6 wonderful days to say the following things, minus me destroying a carbon wheel. It's a great day for a bike ride. So
It was indeed.
thank you so much, buddy.
Yep, you too.